Hey there, Rockstar! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, I'm so weak. On an intro, okay. So the truth about science fiction. So what I really love about sci-fi is that science fiction is called also speculative fiction because we just don't know what's going to happen in the world at large. Like when you say speculative fiction, that's more about like in general, like is the world going to be like a utopia where everyone's like fun, happy and free? Or a dystopia when like the overlordesses of the world are completely like puppeteering each and every part of our lives? But that's for someone else, today at least anyway. But what I love about science fiction is that we just don't know what's going to happen in the future. Like, are we going to have like literal hour-long shuttles to Mars? Well, maybe day-long or whatever. Or are we going to live like underwater and like have like Atlantis and submarine cities, and like are we going to like, you know, intermingle with other humanoid species or whatever else? That would be so freaking cool. But lots of sci-fi films, I find the really good ones, are almost like un-documentaries in a way. And I don't necessarily know what term to use here because I find that documentaries at large, shout out to all my documentarians by the way, all my documentary filmmakers, etc. But in layman's terms, a documentary is a footage, piece of film, long reel of footage, whatever have you, that literally goes into like how things were done, and they're very evidence-based and they're very much grounded in reality. Whereas in sci-fi, all these things exist, but in terms of just like pure imagination, in terms of like what would humans be in 10 years time, 100 years time, whatever, with technology in their hands. And you know, like, you can't really put in evidence for the future necessarily, sort of thing. Like, I don't think that any human being could have ever predicted that most people in the Western world, at least, and will carry like this brick-like object around with them like 24/7, and they can like, you know, pay for things, they can like, you know, book travel, buy clothes, like whatever, like through this little device right here. And social media, I don't think that any person or group of people predicted how ingrained social media would be, to be honest, and that would have influences and all those sorts of things. I can't think, or even the brief bit of research that I did, I can't see any person like really going into the fact that everyone, that like it's the norm now to, you know, if you have an unborn child, you would like put up their scan on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, so that by the time they're born, they'll already have like 10k followers. Like, how did, like, who sat down with themselves and predicted that? Honestly, it's quite wild if you think about it. And where would be in the future? Now, you let me know if you can see any films or TV shows that like utilize mobile phones in any kind of way, because I've seen a few where like, you know, they take pictures or something, or they answer the phone call or whatever. But like, I use my phone for pretty much everything. You know, I use my laptop for everything too, and I have not seen any piece of like long form video, film, whatever, that actually goes into like how people are literally like, you know, walking around doing this all damn day. I haven't seen that, but you let me know if you have seen anything like that. But what I love about sci-fi undocumentaries, as I like to call them, is that they try to predict the future in the best ways that they can. A great example is Back to the Future. I'm still waiting for my hoverboard to be mainstream. I'm still waiting for my lace-up shoes, my automatic lace-up shoes to be mainstream too. Like, but then you get into things where it's like, what is it? Is it the US Space Force? My god. I need to get some military training so I can be in any sort of space navy, because imagine if we went to a planet, hopefully, like, if we colonize Mars, and like, we don't go to the surface and there were like these weird goo alien things, what would we do? Legit, what would we do? What would we do if there was legit an alien invasion? And don't tell me that's not possible. Don't tell me that's not possible, because aliens exist. I know they exist. I know they exist. But like, hopefully like the friendly kind that like wants to, you know, help baby humanity into the next step. But like, there could be some evil ones out there who just want to colonize and just like destroy everything. How would we fight aliens? How would we? And the more that humanity goes into space travel, like, after Mars, after the solar system, what else could be out there? Like, you know those planets that have, you know, water and, like, greenery and some sort of atmosphere and regular temperature? Like, and people at NASA or whatever space station says, like, okay, this planet right here in this galaxy far, far away is prime for life. But we have not had a close-up on that planet enough to understand what kind of life lives there. And if you were to teleport there or to go on a spaceship and travel all the way over there, then, like, what kind of aliens would we find? Like, what if they were like, you know dinosaurs, right? What if, like, the aliens there are, like, that version of dinosaurs? Just, like, these jellyfied, tentacle-like creatures who are, I don't want to say primitive, because, like, is that insult? Is that, like, alienist to say that other species are primitive or something? I don't know. But what if there are really just, like, octopi-like creatures on land, and, like, we have to defend ourselves somehow? Like, how do we even do that? So, that is just amazing. Like, I just love sci-fi in general, and I'm finding some really, really cool sci-fi films. I'm watching so many films these days, like, too many to review them, honestly, to be honest with you. So if you want to figure out what kind of things that I like, then please follow me on Tumblr. Link should be in the description somewhere, or somewhere out here in space, in the web, internet, whatever else. But yeah, like, I really like how sci-fi is the only genre that I can think of. Except for maybe action films, but then again, like, how many bank robberies are there? Like, I mean, I'm not really in late to understand, like, all, like, you know, political, all that sort of stuff too. But I'm sure that will exist somehow, somewhere. But I think sci-fi is the one genre where it's like, we are literally creating footage, so, like, hey, by the way, if you go to a planet and there's an alien invasion, here you go. Or, like, by the way, if you're on a space shuttle to Mars and the oxygen tank breaks down or whatever, this is the likelihood of events. Like, sci-fi continues to be on my mind. Anyway, so that's it from me. So, hope you're doing well, and until next time, mwah, love you, bye.